Hiya, Pendle here from Sound Dust, and I've got the Modular Chaos engine number 4. This is the steel drum percussion room, and it's based on a set of samples I made in a percussion room with a set of steel drums and a lot of other percussion instruments. And the great thing about these is they are really not very well looked after. So it's a set of drums with tears in them, with just badly looked after rustiness going on. The steel drums were rusty, had been battered around and were, not in a good state. But the room sounded great. So, steel drum percussion room, snappy title. And what I've done is we have the Modular Chaos engine, which has several parts. And I'm going to quickly go through the whole lot. Now, starting here, the bang engine, which I'll quickly demonstrate. That's me just holding one note down. And here's the Clang engine. And then doing them both together. And then changing. You get the gist. Tom Waits drum machine, that's what I was thinking. So, let's go through the engines. The bang engine, orange keys here, controls just the drum, the drum sounds. And there's 12 keys. And each key has its own sequencer. And within each sequencer, there are 12 notes, which are laid out here. So I select a sequencer by hitting the note, and then I hit the sound that I want to program by clicking on the note here. These are vaguely laid out in a slightly GM way, and this represents a C, C sharp, etc. Or it should do anyway. So for instance, if I want to put some notes into here, I just draw them in. And the sound section, this is the position in the bar, but where the height doesn't represent velocity, it represents the sound that you're going to play. Let's solo that so we can hear what I've just drawn in. I have no idea what it's going to be just yet. Let's make that one bar. See? And then I could do that, for instance. And then you've got another 8 lanes of control here. So starting with volume. If something doesn't have anything drawn in it, it's full volume. So these kind of basically act as a kind of accents. You've got reverb. So you can just apply reverb to individual notes. Hold, very useful. And the same thing if it's off, you get the full kind of one-shot play. You can right-click these and you can then draw a line. Filter on the bang engine is a resonant high pass, which means you can, let's just get that out of the way and just play one note. Let's make it not there. But it's handy for beefing up sounds. If you find the kind of resonant frequency, main frequency, you can give it a bit of a boost. That's the idea behind that. Let's just put some more notes in again. Pan does obviously what you'd expect it to do. You can control click and then it'll undo all that stuff. Control click and click again with your mouse. Start is a sample start point. So if I and then draw in a sample start change. It's a way of kind of minutely adjusting, because this only adjusts a small amount. You can kind of slightly change the sound of the sample. Tune. By the way, you can hear the swing here, which is positive and negative this way. God, that sounds terrible. And you've also got a nasty compressor here, which you can apply per. It'll sometimes click depending on the sound, so you have to be a little bit aware of its possibilities. So you can get some quite interesting effects, and then add that, unsolo that. Simple as that. I'll clear that again. You can choose your note lengths, your bar lengths here, so that plays 2 bars. Let's put, there you go, hi-hats. You can change the grid to 16ths, sorry, 32ths. Craziness. You get the gist. And the Clang engine is same but different. You've got a different tune thing going on here, so let's just stick on this one. Tune here, you can control the master amount here, so set to 12, that's an octave. So if you put that all the way up, it goes up an octave, all the way down, whole octave, and then in the middle, you can tune accordingly, goes up to 2 octaves, 3 octaves, for craziness. And here, instead of a compressor, it's a transient master, so you can give a bit of punch. You got to suck it and see. Sometimes the results might not be that nice if you go too mad with it. So there you go. These are, oh yes, remix. Each of the 2 engines has their own remix control. And there's 32 algorithms of fiddly aroundiness. You just turn it on and off. It works more obviously in the Bang engine. So you can basically program a loop in, then you've got your lots of variations within that. That's right clickable, so you can MIDI learn it and put it on a control if you want. Tape control here. That just applies to the Bang engine. Right. Then you got one shots. Now that is the next 2 sections of the keyboard here. So the blue represents drum sounds, and the pinky colour over here represents the steel drums. There's different presets over that you will get, which you'll be able to find easier than I can. There you go. Different presets, and some of them have more steels and less drums. This particular one I have open doesn't. Anyway, the good thing about the one shots, so same thing, you've got the kits kind of vaguely GM-ly mapped across the keyboard. I mean, there's kind of quite a wide variety of sounds going on, and some of them don't really fit in the way you'd like them to. And it's similar in here where you've got the keyboard layout. Here you go, same keyboard layout kind of a thing going on. So all the kick drummy sounds are on a C note, just at different parts of the octave, and they're controlled here. So anything I do here will affect all of the C notes. And we've got 2 reverb sends. Now these go to algorithmic reverbs. No, these go to convolution reverbs with some new convolutions I've made from various hardware, quite a few springs. I like springs. And we can turn them up here. And we've also got a size control here as well for each, which is nice for adding a flutter. It's particularly nice on the splatter effect. If you then shorten it. 2 of those, so you can have a different effect on different drums. So if I take that off, that snare, and let's put that there. Now you'll see as well, when I adjust the first one, everything else follows. That's because when this label is selected like that, the first one is the daddy, and the other ones are individual. So it's just a quick way of controlling everything. If I turn it off, then it's not the daddy anymore. Yeah. And the same applies to all of these effects or controls. High pass, low pass, tune. It's very gentle attack variations. It just softens them up and then decay. Let's get rid of that. And then volume as well, and pan. And what we've also got, of course, is the chaos and order buttons. If anything's selected here, then this will chaosify it. And then that will reassert order, but only if they're selected here. So if you don't want to adjust reverb sends, but you want to adjust everything else, very quick way of designing new sounds and then put it all back together again. There's also the Articulator, which is quite a nifty device for changing the way a note plays. So it works on a per note basis, so every single note can have a different articulator setting. So you play the note and then you can choose here what happens. For instance, oops, there you go. That's a drag and it's only on that kick. It's not on the snare and it's not on the next kick. It's just on that note. There's a few of these various things. You can turn it off. And what I've also added in this version of the Chaos Engine is a handy 16th or a handy repeat players. So that's the hi-hat. It's on 16th. I'm just holding the note down. I'm not playing that. Chaos kind of chaotically varies velocity, so you get slightly different sounds. Decay, just a kind of obvious thing. And you've got different times. You've got eighths. And you've also got triplets. And this is quite nice if you, for instance, put 16ths on there, on the kind of open hi-hat. Let's put that as a triplet. Let's make it short. In fact, and if you're holding them both down together, very quick way of kind of playing with ideas and finding new ideas there. It's quite nice. Then, is that everything in there? Yes. Oh yeah, there's also speed roll, which I'm sure will come in handy somehow. It's like you can turn a sound into an oscillator. There's a use for that somewhere. I haven't found it yet, but there is a use. Maybe one of you will find it. And then the master section of master effects and master output. If I go back here, so there's your Bang engine, and then your Clang engines in there as well. So you can adjust levels. You've also got master transient effect for doing affecting dynamics like that, and a master EQ for making things sound horrible or nicer. These are the algorithmic reverbs for the Clang and Bang, which are here. So if you put that in there, then this is the reverb it's sending to here. And that's it, I think. Is that it? Done that, done that, done that. Oh, sound chaos, I didn't mention that. Drag that. Messes around with your sounds. And the same with timing. Can go a little bit too far, as things tend to in Sound Dust. And then the read the flipping manual section, quick overview about where everything is, and then you've got explanations per page there. Saves having to read a manual. Always a good thing. There you go. Good few presets here, each with their own selection of selection of loops and what have you. And then you also get the empty ones, which is where you can build in what you want, which is the plan. Do it yourself. Don't rely on me to do it for you. Just to show you the steels as well. So this has got more steels. Oh, let's find them. So you can play. These are all tuned the best I can tune them. So there's going to be wonkiness, which is a good thing. But you can also, use the articulator on these. Oh, Geiger. You can use the articulator on these for, let's do that and there. Ooh, there you go. Add some drums in. Can't reach them. There you go. Modular Chaos Engine number 4, steel drum percussion room, available from Sound Dust. www.sound-dust.co.uk. Thanks very much. Bye bye.